Hi, fashion dolls. Hi, hi, hi. Welcome, welcome to Style by Stevie. It is simply Saturday, November 14th. And my special guest today is a singer and a songwriter and a recording artist for Bentley Records, and also has been on the cover of R&B Lifestyle Mag, Barry Penderson will be joining me, Pendleton, excuse me, will be joining me in a few minutes. I hope you guys can hear me. Can everybody hear me? He'll be joining me in a few. I just did an interview with Jana. Hi, Jana. As you guys can see, wardrobe change, completely different. I wanted to do something very over the top and elegant, of course. We're waiting on Barry to join me, and he will be joining me in a few. So I sent this live out to my BCC group. So make sure you guys, if you're in the group, share this live. Let everybody know that I'm live. And I've got some great news before we get this interview started. Style by Stevie has officially hit 1K. Thank you guys so much for your love and support and just supporting my platform in general. Okay, my special guest is here. Ladies and gentlemen, Barry P. Pressed by Karma. Get those nails on fleek. Uh-oh, I did the wrong person. Oh my God. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, Sky. Hey, everybody. Thank you guys so much. Yes, Style by Stevie has officially hit 1K. Thank you guys so
Hello.
much for liking the page. Hi, Barry.
Hi, how's it going?
It is such a pleasure to meet you. I'm doing excellent.
Pleasure, pleasure. It's a pleasure finally to meet you as well.
Yes, you look stunning. Thank you. Hi, Lady Monet. Thank you so much. All
Hey,
right, let's get this
Sky.
interview started. Sky is here. Make sure you guys go and follow Sky. Sky was a part of the Chasing Atlanta franchise. It's been so much that has been going on throughout the week. I'm not even going to get into that unless
Any,
you want to. But we're
um,
going to start about your music. Go ahead. Or you can
we
take it forward. Go ahead.
we can worry about that later down the line. Um,
Yeah.
well, when it comes to my music, I've been singing since I was 5 years old. What people don't know is, my mom put me in classical vocal training when I was around 8 years old. So I was professionally trained vocally when I was 8. And then, as I got older, I started taking music more seriously. I told my mom when I was about maybe 9 that I wanted to be a singer or artist. She went out and she bought me a keyboard. So literally, while everyone else was outside playing, getting dirty, I would be in my room listening to oldies, trying to mimic the key sounds of music. Um, from there, I started taking her to plays, Christmas plays, Thanksgiving plays, anything that had to do with me singing. I would pour her out of the house and she would be a part of it. And when I got about 13, I released my first EP. It did really well back home because, of course, it's back home. And I had sort of a reputation back home for being a bit of a hothead. So people knew me for always fighting, fighting. So when I released my EP, it was kind of like, okay, we know him. So let's go and support him. From there, skip ahead a few years. I moved to Florida. I released my second EP. It charted at number 15. Then the following year, I released a single dedicated to my daughter, who's now deceased. That peaked at number 20 on iTunes. And then last year in 2019, I released my first single from my upcoming album called Take Control, and it peaked at number 6. And recently, back in June, maybe I just signed my second deal. So I was signed once previously, and I just signed another deal. So yeah,
How does it feel to have all of this success? Something that you've been longing for since she was, you said, 5 years old. How does it feel to have a record contract and so many things? Like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you.
um, it's good, but the deal I signed is a distribution deal. So it's a 80/20 deal, which means they're gonna help me distribute the album. They're gonna pay for my photo shoots, my video shoots, and all of that. So on the back end, those are certain things that I don't have to fund. So when the album comes out, um, I'm praying that it does really, really well because people have been asking for this album. This album was technically done 4 years ago, but I went through 2 rounds of cancer. So that pushed the album back. Not only did it push the album back, it took a toll on my vocal ability, my range, my tone, even my breathing. So I had to go back into taking vocal lessons and getting myself back together. But I feel like as an independent artist, I think I did really well with being able to chart 3 times. So with this one, with this album, I'm hoping that it gets me a little bit higher. I'm praying that it charts again. That way I can say I've charted 4 times. So I feel like I'm doing okay as an artist, but one thing that I feel is kind of hindering me is the fact that I'm LGBTQ, and I feel like we don't get even rappers or singers that are in this lifestyle. I feel like we don't get enough recognition simply because of the way we live our lives. And there's a lot of us that are talented, that can rap, that can sing, and there are a couple of mainstream artists, and I'm not bashing anybody, that get signed not because of the talent that they have, lack thereof, but because of the way they look. And for me, that's kind of like a slap in the face because whether you're gay or straight or whatever, when you're talented, you're talented. The way you look should not define you getting signed to a major deal or people not wanting to work with you because of who you are as a person. So,
And I think you just about summed it up. That was going to be my next question for you, the challenges that you face being a black man in the LGBTQ community. And I know for me, I did a video about it just recently where I was opening up about some of the challenges that I face. You know, me,
mhm,
everybody knows me and Danita are good friends. Danita is like a sister to me. She's like
right.
baby sis. And some of you guys are close with her as well too. She has her platform on the hot seat. And she just recently did an interview with Hey Mikey, and she said some of the challenges that I face being, you know, a full figure woman, you can clearly see our body types as different body types. She's a full figure voluptuous woman, and I'm curvaceous as well too. I'm not full figure, but I'm curvaceous. And the thing is, it's about desirability. So desirability politics, I think they just need to trash that. They need to dead that. And like Scott just said, Scott said this in one of his interviews as well too, because I follow all of you guys.
Hmm.
It's definitely a lot of challenges for us being in the LGBTQ community. Miss Stevie, your blonde is fire. Thank you. Uh,
Scar, you're
I just
definitely right.
hate that we can't succeed and be on, like, you know, national syndicated platforms. Like, I mean, every now and again, MTV and VH1 will give us the limelight, but
Every now.
BET, we need y'all to step up to the plate and start tapping some of these black content creators out here that are doing the same exact thing. All body types are beautiful, exactly. And when you come on my platform, you're welcome, no matter what shape, size, or color you are. But like Scott just said, he made a very valid point that we just need to dead the box. Like, they think that we are our own enemies. We don't push us. Yes, and
Right.
that's what a lot of people need to do in the LGBTQ community because there's such a stigma. We'll get into that later on about the whole G Status franchise because everybody has not heard my opinion on it. I've been very quiet.
Hmm.
So
I was gonna.
it's a mess, and I think that's something that has something to kind of to do with it as well too. But we got to uplift one another instead of tearing each other down on each other's platforms. And I've seen you've been through a lot. We've talked
Oh,
personally. You and Danita,
yes.
you've been through a lot, and
But
I
you know what?
commend you 100% for keep going,
So
fighting through all of these obstacles and challenges.
I have to. I've said several times. I've never cared about what people thought about me. I've never really cared. It's the blatant disrespect. You can say whatever you want to say,
Right.
but when you disrespect me directly, then we're going to have a direct issue. I've never really cared what people say about me because it doesn't make me. It never made me any money. The negativity didn't stop me from charting. It did not stop me from signing a second deal. So when it comes to that, I don't really care. It's just a blatant disrespect that I'm not going to tolerate from anybody. I don't care who it is. It's only one person that walks this earth today that can disrespect me, and that's my dad. And I think he's in the comments. Other than that, I'm not going to disrespect them. I don't bother people. I get up every day. I have a cleaning service, and I have a hair care product that I'm about to release at the top of next year. I run my business, and I work part time. I get up, I work. If I'm not in the studio, I'm in my house. I bother nobody. I support everybody, even the people that don't fuck with me. I have their music in my phone, or I bought something that they put out because that's what I do. Like, regardless of you not fucking with me or we're not seeing eye to eye, if you do something that I like or you make some music that I like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna purchase it. You can say, "Oh, he bought my song." I sure the fuck did because I like the song. Oh, he bought one of my shirts. I sure did because I like the shirt. So when it comes to us supporting each other, I support everybody in their own right. I don't care. If I have an issue with you and you do something that I approve of and that I like, I'm going to buy it. And that's just how I am. I don't care who does about my music. I don't care. But the fact of the matter is, and I have to keep telling people this because they're like, well, how's he still able to sing or do this and move the way he
Right.
does? Because I'm humble. I pray every day. If you watch my stories, every day you go through my stories, you're gonna see where I may lash out for a minute, but then I'm gonna take it back. And you're gonna see something positive and inspirational in my stories. I mean, I'm human. I do fall short. I do lash out. But just remember one thing about Barry, he knows how to reel it back in and still put out that positive note that somebody needs to hear, even though an hour later he just cursed somebody out. You see what I'm saying? So when I tell people, just leave me alone and let me be, just let me be, let me handle me. You don't have to like me. You don't have to want to be around me. But one thing that is not optional when it comes to Barry P, you're going to respect me. So when people say certain
And
stuff, I just, I try to, I give people passes, say to say the least. I give people passes, but you can't keep antagonizing because at some point I'm going to lash out, and when I lash out, it's very, very bad. So when I reach out to certain people like you and Danita and Sky and Carl and Marnie, even my dad, it's because I know that I'm going to get the real, and I know that y'all gonna be like, okay, so listen, okay, this happened, they said this, but you need to think about your kids. In the moment, I'm not thinking rationally. I'm not thinking about the deal I just signed. I'm not thinking about running my business. I'm not thinking about my kids because the fact of the matter is, you disrespected me to a point where I've asked you, just let me be, and you didn't let me be. So when I click out, it's just war. So when I say to people, just let me be, just let me be, let me do me, you do you. We don't have to be friends. We don't even have to be cordial because being cordial is being in a room with somebody you can have a conversation. We don't even have to be that. But I'll speak to you if we come to a common ground and we decide that we have no issues. I'll be able to speak with you, and we can leave it like that.
hey, Terrence. Right. And that's another thing some people have to do. They have to, like Scott mentioned, okay, let me get to some of y'all's comments too before I answer the next question. People forget that just because we have a certain platform, we are still human. And he's making moves and minding his business right as he should. And that's what we're all doing. And if you do look in his stories, he has he posts a scripture each and every day, and then I'll see him. He'll be reading somebody like Scott did in Danita's show. So I would love to see a panel from you, Danita and Imani. OMG, it would be. I would be so in love. Oh, thank you.
That'll be dope.
Listen, we got to give my girl Danita all the praise because she's amazing. But what just recently happened to her, we'll discuss that later on down the line. I did hate that that happened. And one thing I don't tolerate on my platform as a black woman myself is the disrespect towards black women, period.
Oh,
Especially after what just recently happened to Meg Thee Stallion not too long ago. And now this midget, this leprechaun, is trying to start an OnlyFans. So I'm not interested.
interesting. I don't follow him.
Yeah,
I've never followed Tory because I feel like, and this is just my opinion, I feel like he makes good music, but every concert you're seeing him swinging on someone that supports him. So I buy his music, but that's the extent of my support that he's going to get. That's it.
what happened to my girl? Um, that there was an incident she talked. I'm pretty sure she talked about it on her platform where one of the cast members from G Status disrespected her, And again, that's just a prime example of the disrespect that black women get. I was very disappointed, to hear that that happened to her. I normally stay in the background. I don't really say too much. I don't get involved in G status drama, but Barry has the floor today to talk about what happened.
Oh
We'll get right into that. What happened at this reunion?
God. I went to the reunion for another particular reason, where the reunion was starting off on a good foot, um, but then four walked in. So when four was seated, um, the host couldn't ask any other cast member any questions. Like they couldn't say anything. Every time they asked a cast member a question, four interrupted. He was very, very rude, very disrespectful. He kept coming at Devon. Devon tried to keep it classy. He tried for as long as he could. Um, and then it got to the segment where Devon and Sherrod were finally about to bury the hatchet. As I say, bury the hatchet and, clear the air on certain things that were said and were done. Because Devon had made up in his mind, okay, it happened, it's over with, I don't care, let's talk about it and move on. So as Sherrod was speaking, and he was saying how people bashed him about his disability, four hauls off and say, well, Devon has a disability with his lazy eye. And when he said that, Devon, I thought it was a plant, but they said Devon threw a bookcase or something, and it went, it just went crazy. After that, it went crazy. I don't, and that's what I remember, and I don't remember what I did, but from what other people told me, me and Montel were taking Devon toward the door, and four was coming off of the stage, and as four was coming off the stage, from what I don't remember this, I just remember walking behind Montel to get Devon out. But people were telling me that I blacked out and I started slinging security guards. I honestly don't remember that. After that, everything it was just crazy. Um, Lady Monet's boyfriend, Pop Sherrod, it was just crazy. It was crazy, and the common denominator was four. It was four. Everybody else stayed in their seats. They were keeping it cute. They were being classic. They were answering questions, but they were answering the questions from their seat.
Right.
Four kept getting up out his seat, beat my ass. He was just going the most. So when people say Four ruined the reunion, it's not a lie. It's actually a fact. He did. He definitely did. And I don't know him. I don't have an issue with him. But that from where I was sitting, that's what I saw. If everyone is being asked a question, you have to wait your turn, and you have to do it
Right.
respectfully. You have to do it respectfully. You can't interrupt everybody that was speaking. That's not how. From where I've been, from what I've seen, that's not how reunions are supposed to go. You have your moments, okay, but every reunion cannot be ruined because you have fans that watch the show. You see what I'm saying? You have people that watch the show, so they look forward to not only seeing their favorite cast members, they look forward to seeing the fashions, who's hosting, what's going to be said. Basically, are people going to be able to clear the air on what was said during the season? But as I said, I don't know if I would have an issue with him, but facts are facts. You have to be able to contain yourself when you're on a cast with other people. And if you can't contain yourself when you're in a public setting, then I mean, why would anybody want to be around you? But it was hot. It was a hot ass mess to say the least. It was a hot ass mess.
Whew. Lord, I'm trying not to look at these comments. I'm trying to focus my attention on this gorgeous chocolate man right here.
And
But
Sky, you are
y'all, right
definitely
here, y'all are speaking the truth.
Sky,
There
you're
is a
definitely
fine
right.
line between trying to boost ratings and
And
being
being totally
totally disrespectful and
disrespectful and
disruptive.
disruptive.
Sky,
And listen, and
exactly.
and that's what four was given: disrespectful and disruptive. And I'm sitting
Just
in the
found
audience.
out.
I'm sitting in the
Go
audience.
ahead. I'm
So
sorry.
I'm sitting in the audience. So I know from what I was seeing, I know everybody else saw it too. Because even people that were in the audience were screaming, "Get him out of here!" I'm just saying.
Blame it on me, Chrisette Michelle. Oh,
Listen, I'm again. I don't have an issue with this man, but facts are facts. When you're disrespectful, how people react to
hey,
your disrespect.
Figaro's.
Hey, friend, when you're disrespectful, how people react to your disrespect is solely based on you. You can't be disrespectful and say, "Well, they shouldn't have did that." That's not how life goes. Because, like I just sat here and I said a few minutes ago, if you disrespect me, it's going to get really, really bad. And I make house calls, I make job calls, I will come to your church, I will come to your mother's house. So when you're blatantly being disrespectful to people, how they react is because of what you did. You can't be disrespectful and say, "Well, they shouldn't have acted like that." You're the reason they're acting the way they're acting because if they're giving you a pass and they're trying to be cute and classy, like Devon was, and Four kept coming for him, Devon's reaction was because of Four. Okay, so let's just keep it cute and be keep it all the way 100. He can say whatever he wants to say in the comments. He can keep it cute and classy in the comments as long as he doesn't disrespect. I'm just saying what it is. The way you come off to people and how they react is based on how you come off to people. You see what I'm saying? That's why people can sit in the comments and say, he's making moves and minding his business. That's what it is. So when I react, it's because of what someone has done and how many passes I've given them. And I don't usually get passes. You get one time and I fuck you up. So he's in the comments. He can say whatever he wants in the comments, but I'm speaking facts. Devon's reaction was based solely off of your disrespect. So you can't say, "Well, I didn't do anything." You did a lot, and you said a lot. You were very disrespectful. You were very rude, and you were out of pocket. And
And
that's my problem with people. They do stuff and they don't want to take accountability for it. If you do something, say, "Well, yeah, I said that to Devon. I did that. I interrupted everyone. I was being disrespectful. I kept getting up out of my seat because that's what you did." If you do something, own it. Be accountable for what you do. Don't do some shit and say, "Well, that's not how I meant it," because that's how you meant it. You did it. You said it. You meant it.
how quick the children become white women. And that's right. And Sky, what did Sky say? Let me see. These comments are moving so fast. Friend, what happened to us being Caucasian? Yes. And most importantly, take accountability for what you do. Take action for what you do. If you did something, if you got up out of your seat, if you hit somebody, take responsibility for it. And I don't even know Devon like that, but I know that we both have something in common. We're both Scorpios.
Hmm.
And for us, it takes a lot for us to go there. It takes a lot for us to get triggered. Me, I'm a sweet person. I'm sweet as can be. But Danita, she said this when she did her interview with Imani. She's the same way too. It takes a lot for you to trigger us as women because it only takes one time for you to say something about us or tell a lie about us.
Hmm.
But Barry P and Miss Stevie, is it real? Is it really Forrest's fault, or should we just be looking at Ja?
Okay, let me answer. I'm gonna address this, and then we're gonna move on because this is not about G status, and it's definitely not about Four. Um, it's Four's fault, and yes, Ja plays a part in it. The only reason I say Ja plays a part in it because Ja did not control his casting. He did not tell him to wait your turn, and he did not escort him out like he did when Delicious got out of pocket. He escorted her out. But Ford was able to sit there and still be disrespectful and continue to be disrespectful. So to clear it up, it's both of their fault. Next.
There it is in a nutshell, and I agree. I agree with that, and I've been saying this for the longest. That how come production for this particular show did not make a statement? That is so unprofessional. And even on my platforms, when you do something or someone says, "Okay," like Danita gives you guys the hot seat. Here on
Hmm.
Style by Stevie, I let you guys come out and tell your truth. And more importantly, about accountability. That's the difference between me and Danita's platform. Style by Stevie is on a completely different We're in a completely different arena. And the hot seat, she lets you come out and you clear the truth. And you guys bring
Hmm.
her the receipts. So we're
Hmm.
thankful for platforms bothfully like ours. But I'm willing to hear the truth. And
Hmm.
if you're not giving any sort of truth, you're just sitting up here stirring, stirring up mess, this particular cast member, then I want no parts. I mean, yes, you can sit in the audience, but you're just letting it be known that you're not welcome to come on my platform.
Right.
I don't condone the drama. I'm very classy about how I handle certain things. I
Right.
know what I want. I know my standards. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, hey, Mr. Polo Joe,
What's up, Polo?
welcome. Welcome to Style by Stevie. Um, as far as people attacking Devon doesn't bother nobody. So let him be. Let him focus on his
Let me
business.
tell you
He's
something.
just releasing music.
Let me tell you something. People see Devon from how he used to act on Chasing Atlanta. But as I've said several times, y'all do not know what goes on behind the scenes of these shows.
Right.
And I can honestly sit there and say, I know what the fuck goes on because I was engaged to somebody from Chasing Atlanta. So I know exactly what goes on behind the scenes. So when what they cut and edit, they're giving you actual footage, but you can't base what you see. You can't base the edited version of what you see off of what really happened because you're only getting a certain amount of time. They're not giving you they're not gonna sit here and allow these cast members to sit here and try to clear up everything when they're doing 30 minutes, 45 minutes,
Right.
hour episode. They're gonna of course they're gonna let you guys interact, but they're gonna cut and edit what they feel is good TV. Devon fucks with nobody. And I've said that from watching him.
Doesn't.
Before I even
Nor
had a
Tramel.
conversation, man, or Tremel. Before I'm able to have a conversation with Devon, I can sit and see. I dissect everything. Okay, let's be clear. I can dissect some shit because a person's reaction, again, like I just said, a person is going to react off of how you treat them or what you've done to them. You can't just say,
That's
"Oh, he's
right.
a hot." You can't just say, "Oh, he's a hottie." Well, what the fuck did you do to him to make him throw that book, to make him jump across that table, to make him throw that drink, throw that plate? What did you do off camera to make him react to that when he saw you? What did you do? And that's my problem. Be accountable for your shit. Own it. Because a bitch like me, if I do something, oh yeah, I did it. I said it. I meant it. And I'm gonna add some more shit in there just because you asked me if I said it. Own it. Say what you did. I've had many a conversations with Devon since the G Stacks reunion. And I tell people all the time, there is a beautiful in being humble than there is of being cocky. When you're humble, it seeps out through your pores. When you're
Oh yeah.
cocky, people see that shit from across the street. I'm not gonna fuck with him because he's cocky and he thinks he's all that. But when you're humble, people see it. They notice it. So no matter what these people have said about Devon or tried to put out about this man, he still has his business. I, he still has his business. He's still doing well. And while you guys are still talking, doing nothing constructive, but lounging every day on social media, being trolled, this man is still running his business, still paying his bills, still getting booked, still putting out music. And you guys are sitting back waiting on the next season of G Stacks to come around just to say you have something that'll make you relevant.
Agreed 100% and summed up very well in a nutshell. And my thing is this: stop profiting off of people's pain. If you knew this situation took place with Devon and some of the other cast members, why continue to film? Why continue to put his business out there? Why
Exactly.
continue to profit off of his pain? So that's
Exactly.
why I say hold the producers accountable as well
Accountable.
too. So
And that's
that's why I'm a
exactly
little
why
upset.
and that's exactly why when people ask me, I tell them, y'all played a part. Not just that, but what goes on in people's personal lives can cause them to trigger. And you're definitely right, Scott, because you know my trigger. You know mine. But that's why I say Ja is accountable for it because it wasn't only Devon and it wasn't only people in the audience that were saying remove him. A couple, Ja, you good do this and I'm sitting over here. There was a couple people that asked Ja to remove him, and he did it. He allowed him to sit there and to be disrespectful.
That's my point. Yeah, that is some weak shit. And let me go through not just that, but what goes on in people's personal lives that can cause them to be triggered. Exactly. I agree, Scott.
That's true.
That's
That's
why
very
we
true.
all fuck with each other hard. Right.
Right. And
But
I
what
want
I do not like is the fact that he continued to profit off of Devon's pain. And I've
he
seen
did.
him in Danita and Alive. I've seen Devon break down in tears. Like, it just broke my heart. I felt so bad because y'all are just attacking this man right here. Yes, he had his situation with one of the other cast members, but they could have did that, chose not to. I've heard so much about this reunion, and people are still talking about it. But you sat back and you did nothing. You kind of stirred the pot too. So yes, Ja, we're holding you accountable as well too. And I've called you out, and Danita called you out
Hmm. He
several
did.
times.
He did. He definitely did. And he will not. He won't do an interview, and I don't understand why he won't do an interview. And the interview is not for him to be bashed, as I said. The interview is for him to clear the air. You need to again take some accountability for what the fuck happened at their reunion. You refuse to do that.
And yet still, he's not going to release a statement. I already know he's not going to release a statement. And they're
I
not
don't.
probably, we're never going to see those last four episodes. Not that they're, important. We
It's
already
supposed to be
know.
four. It's supposed to be 4 episodes left.
I think so. Is it three, four? Because we haven't seen when they go on a trip. Like, it's still episodes that are missing. Scenes have been cut. You did Tramel and Devon wrong, 100%. And you did it why? Because you want to be the next Mona Scott Young.
Even in being the next Mona Scott Young, she still shows the positive aspects of people's lives. She doesn't just base the season around them being messy or them being in drama. She still shows positive aspects. And I don't think we really got that much positivity from Devon's and Tramel's story this season.
I mean, yeah, you did show Tramel's song at the end of an episode, but
You're right,
you,
Paul.
you could have shown more. Like, we don't know what some of the cast members do. You could have shown a whole lot more. We have to remember Josh Young. Listen,
Hold on, wait.
that
You
young,
you know
that
we are.
young, that don't,
That's my
listen, I'm
man.
27 years old.
The one that's modeling LA. That's my father. He said, you know, we are in an age of folks that cannot man up or woman up about their fuck shit. And he's definitely right. But let me tell you something. When it comes, I'm so sick of people using that age as a cop out. So
I'm
sick.
27 years old. John's like what, 23, 24? But I have some
24.
maturity and decorum and respect. I don't exploit people on my platforms. When everybody comes here on Style by Stevie, pour yourself a glass of wine. Pour yourself a glass of champagne. Sit back and relax and just enjoy the interview. Or when you come into my house, we can talk about these type of things. I don't use my platform, nor does Danita. Danita lets people come on her platform, and she
Hmm.
lets people bring her truth. And more importantly, me, when I allow people to come on my platform, I allow them to say what they're feeling, whatever's on their mind, to bring out the truth, to expose whatever it is. See,
Hmm.
the difference between me and Danita's platforms is the fact that she allows people to come on there and say whatever it is, get it off their chest.
Hmm.
And on my platform, I'll allow people to come on and expose and bring out the naked, raw, real truth.
Oh, see,
Like, what are you really hiding? Bring
let
it
me
out to the people.
wait a minute. Hold on, wait. Since you about that.
But the age thing, I've heard that excuse for Josh so many different times. Like, he's what, 23, 24 years old?
He's 24.
His maturity isn't there yet. He is a real, exactly, Mr. Polo Joe. You want to be the Bad Girls Club. You want to be the Real Housewives. You want to be Loving Hip Hop Atlanta. But you need to show people's careers and what they're doing. We hardly know what some of the cast members are doing, and some of the scenes have been cut and limited. Why?
I want to
Especially
be
one of
honest.
my. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I want to be honest. Um, and this is no shade. Devon has a business. He's a rapper.
Yes.
He's in a relationship. He's in love. Okay. He's in love with his man. Tramel is in a relationship. Tremere just released the album. He's doing bookings.
Yes.
He's in love. Um, I know Delicious rap, but I didn't see much of her music career. Um, Roman, for me, and this is my opinion, this is no shade. I don't care if the screen's recorded. I don't care if it says what. For me, Roman's only claim to fame is his body and balding. Akeem, I don't really know what Akeem does. Don't have an Instagram. Don't know what he does. Um, I don't know what Ford does. Who else was it? Ike. He charted on. He charted as well. He's a singer. He has a business. So Ike, Tramiel, Devon, those are the only people that really had a real storyline this season. And that's no, that's not me throwing a shot. That's the truth.
I agree 100%. And I watched Imani Van Zepp's interviews with some of the cast members, and it breaks my heart to know all of these things have happened to them. People only bring what they see already done on reality TV, thinking that
Thinking
that will
that
work for them. More importantly, come
hello.
in with something new, come up with something original, be original.
Let me tell you something. I for the past couple of weeks, I've been getting attacked, and I'm just gonna be honest, solely because Sky is my friend. Devon is now someone I consider a friend. Lady Monet is my
Hmm.
friend for almost 20 years. People have been attacking me saying that I'm clout chasing because Sky is my friend. Devon is now my friend. Lady
No.
Monet is my friend. Lady is on G status. Lady Monet is on G status. Sky was a fan favorite on Chasing Atlanta. But let me explain something. Before I knew Sky, before I knew Devon, Barry was already an established artist. Barry's a college graduate. Barry has had his streaming service since he was 18. Uh, so how am I clout chasing? I'm still trying to figure that out. Because when me and Sky met, Sky wasn't a cast member on Chasing the Nether anymore. I've known Lady
So
Monet since 16, 17
y'all have
years.
had a friendship outside of the show, and they're
Exactly.
saying that you're clout chasing. You, I don't see you as that. I don't
Okay.
see you as that. You're a
I
three
I
times chart topper
I
musician.
I turned down Chasing Atlanta not once, not twice, but three times. Solely because I was engaged to somebody on the platform. And
Hmm.
as I've said, I told him when we got together, I did not want to be a part of Chasing Atlanta. While you are a cast member on the show solely because of how you acted first season and how you were portrayed first season and how you're acting second season. I didn't want to be in parts of it. So when people say clout chasing, I'm not clout chasing about anybody. Sky was my friend and he wasn't even on the show. We built this relationship going on almost 2 years and he was already off the show. So I need people to understand that. And to be a clout chaser, you have to really have something of value for somebody to clout chase off of you. And let's just say I did try to be Sky's friend while he was on the show. Sky has his own business. He's worked for celebrities as their assistants. Then you could have said I was clout chasing because he's still doing that now, but he's not on Chasing Atlanta. So if you want to say I'm clout chasing, say I'm using him for his connections. And Sky will tell you not one time did I ask him to connect me to any of his business connections. Sky is a genuine fucking friend. So if you're going to say I'm clout chasing, say I'm trying to use him for his connections right now. Because he's still a celebrity assistant. He still works for celebrities. He still does all of that. But don't say I'm clout chasing because he was on Chasing Atlanta. That doesn't even make sense. He was on Chasing Atlanta. He's not on Chasing Atlanta now. So if you're gonna say something, say I'm trying to use him for his celebrity connects. These people are stupid.
In my opinion,
Right, Sky.
you're not a clout chaser. I don't see it. Respect, Brian. I agree. Now I can tell you who's a clout chaser. Offset, Offset. You got with
Uh,
Cardi B after you wasn't hot from the Migos, so that's a clout chaser. But I don't see you as that.
Sky is genuinely my friend. Me and Sky, we don't even talk about business. Majority we're on the phone. Kiki, we're talking about real life. And 9 times out of 10, he's probably talking me out of beating somebody's ass. Just being honest.
And that's true, loyal, genuine friendship. So I don't see you as a clout chaser, or you Roland in the comments. I don't see y'all as that at all. I see y'all as loyal, true friends, and defending y'all's friends when people have done them wrong. 100%. So I don't see all that. I love this dude. Same as Tony. Those are my peeps, right? Yeah, and we all run together in a close circle. Like y'all are connected through Danita, and then y'all you connected to me. So everybody's in a circle together. We all in this thing together. We're basically
Mm.
like a family. So clout chase, where? I don't see it. But like I said, the clout chaser is Offset.
I want
That's the clout chaser.
they keep well since they can if they want to call me a clout chaser, they can they can use that. I just like to tell people to just Google me. You can Google me, baby.
Right.
You gonna see a couple mug shots too, but you're also gonna see a lot of stuff that pertains to my music. So you just Google me.
All right, mugshot. Got to defend your own. No, they are not. Yes, exactly, model. I don't see them as that. They be lame for even saying dumb shit like that. Right. And you know what it stems down to, Sky, y'all? It stems down to jealousy. You're jealous of people's success. You're jealous of how people have got to the part of their career from point A to point B. So you want to go out here and you want to label somebody you both didn't mention. Yes, Redrick and Charlie are doing their thing.
Oh
They
yeah, they
are.
are.
And
I'm
that's
sorry.
no shade. They are. They
I
are
forgot
doing
about
their
them. I'm
things.
sorry.
And
'Cause I was trying to remember the rest of them, but I like Reggie. I like Reggie.
I had to pull my whip over. You ain't no effing clout chase. Right. I don't see it. I don't see that.
Pop, this is all
Would you
they can
stop
tell you.
with the mug shots? Oh my God, Jesus.
I'm just saying. If you Google Barry Pendleton, not only will you see stuff that pertains to my music and certain articles, you will see a couple of mugshots. I mean, I own my shit. I'm not embarrassed for nothing I did to cause me to get those mugshots because, as I said, those mugshots came from people fucking with me. So, Tony, I'm not ashamed of anything I've done thus far because I never start shit. However, I definitely will finish it. And if it causes me to get a mugshot, then oh well. I guess I'll have another one.
And that's a part of his past. So the thing about that is that goes into my next topic of this conversation
Oh,
is that
Sky.
what's your
Sky said,
favorite
what's
mugshot? Go ahead, y'all
my
joining in the conversation too.
my favorite mugshot was before I got my locks and I had really long hair and I had just went and got a silk press. So I had I had a head wrap on. And when I got locked up, they made me comb my hair down. So in the mug shot, it looked like I had a wrap. But that was before I got my dread.
Ain't shit wrong with a mugshot. It's how you grow with the experience. Exactly, Mr. Polo Joe. And this is a part of his past. So everybody's got a part of their past. Everybody, you can't erase it. It's going to be there with you. You're going to have to look back on it and sit in it and say, okay, I've done this. And it goes back to what Barry was talking about in the beginning of this conversation, which is taking accountability. If you've done something, own up to it. You have to look back at
I
these
took accountability for
mug
all my shit.
shots.
I took accountability for everything, even up until I lash out. I mean, I don't feel sorry for lashing out because, as I said, I don't bother people. I mind my business. I handle my business. I'm focused on my kids. And my oldest daughter is about to be here in a couple of months. So if I'm gonna act her ass, then I'm gonna act her ass before she gets here. And I don't want her coming here and seeing me revert back to the way I used to be. So that's why I'm trying to clear up a lot of stuff now, like rumors that people, a certain somebody keeps saying. I'm definitely going to have to clear that up, and I'm going to clear it up now. Whether I get an apology or I don't, I'm going to clear it up. So I'm trying to handle everything now before my daughter gets here. Because once she gets here, I'm still going to be out handling my business, finishing my album, promote my album, but my child is going to be here. So I'm an example because she's never really seen me lash out, but I want to be an even better example for when she gets here. So when she gets here, I want all of this BS to be cleared up and brushed under the rug.
I agree. I would much rather him put out his own past than rather some of these right. People are so malicious and evil, they will try to dig up anything on you. The only time I resort to something like that is if somebody is trying to make up a lie about me and they'll say, okay, this is an example. The sky is blue. We all know that the sky is blue. And what else is new? You're trying to find a lie about me and put it out there. That's the only time when I have to dig in my file cabinet,
Let me
if
tell you
y'all know
something.
what I mean.
Let me tell you something. And I'm not even going to say his name because I don't want to give him any more life. But I have an ex. Um, like I said, we were engaged. He's on the Chasing Life platform, and I'm pretty sure the world knows who he is now because I did a whole interview
Mm-hmm.
on the corporate mouth about him. But he put out this narrative that um, I wasn't supporting him, I was cheating on him the whole relationship. He put out a narrative of things that he was doing. He was the cheater, but he's flipped it and made it seem like it was me. And I keep hearing it. And before I went to the result of doing the interview, I went 2 years, and Sky can tell you, when me and Sky became friends, I never gave Sky any details as to why I left this man. But he continued to talk about me for 2 years. He continued to put out the narrative that I'm a cheater, and I didn't do this, and I didn't do that. So I got tired. I got tired of people telling it to me. I got tired of hearing it. I was 3,000 miles away in California, and I was still hearing it. And then when I got here, it came back up. It's almost 3 years later. Why are you still putting out this narrative that I'm a cheater? So what I did was, and I think you saw it, I went and I posted the Cash App receipts. And I tagged him in every single one. I tagged him so much he blocked me.
I know what he's talking about. That's why I'm making my face like this. People sometimes don't understand that a false narrative that someone can
See,
put
people, they
can
can't.
damage how people see. Exactly, Scott. Thank you. And this is the thing right here. You cannot go out here and put something about someone out there that is not true without having the actual facts. Because, see, that's how you get a lawsuit on your ass. That is slander and
Are
liability.
you still hurt, Barry?
You,
I am so no, I'm definitely not hurt. And I'm gonna explain this and then I'm gonna move on. As I just said, he did a lot of stuff while we were together, including cheating, including sleeping with people in the bed that we shared. He did a lot of stuff. So if I was hurt, I could have been the mad, bitter ex. And when I left him, I could have aired his business out then. I didn't say anything. I said nothing for 2 years. I didn't open my mouth until I got here in Atlanta and I started mingling with other artists and meeting bloggers, I call like Call and speaking with Imani and you and Davita, and I kept hearing him say that I did these things. After 2 years, I was quiet. I never said anything, never gave any details. And again, Sky will tell you because when me and Sky became friends, it was because of that situation. But even speaking on the situation, Sky will tell you I never gave him details until this year when I heard it. Again, after I had a conversation with this man previously, and I said, "Stop telling that lie," and he continued to do it. Even when he continued to do it, I still never said anything. So when I get here and I begin to mingle, and I'm gonna tell y'all something, and Scott don't even know this. Scott told me when I got here, he said, "You have the album coming out. You just signed your deal. I feel like you should go out and start mingling with other people. Seeing the Atlanta scene, building your basically rebranding because my fan base is back in Cali." And it wasn't until I went out when Sky told me that, I promise you, the very next week, I went to a Chasing Reality event. As soon as I walked in the door, somebody whom I do not know but clearly knew who I was approaches me with the same story that I had heard when I was living in Cali. And at that point, I was done. I was done being quiet. You're making people look at me like I'm this badass person. So now I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna tell the truth. And not only am I going to tell the truth, I'm going to tell the truth from the beginning to the end, even leading up to why I feel the way I feel today. And that's what I did.
I'm going to shut up though. If he apologizes for his wrongdoing, would you accept his apology?
Who said that? If you apologize. Um, I'm gonna say this. I got to a point because I have a soul session coming up. It's basically a concert. It's me and I reached out to five other artists. So I have a show coming up on the 5th. I got to the point where I said, you know what? I don't care what he said. I'm just gonna let it go. I'm gonna reach out. I don't care. There's no hard feelings. I'm gonna let it go. And I was even going to extend the invite for him to come to my show. That's the conversation I had with Carl the week prior. Because I told Carl, I said, I'm just gonna let it go. I don't have time. The following week, he sits on the phone with my ex. Two of my exes on the phone. Cameron sits on the phone with my ex, and he mentions my kids. So at that point, I don't care what you said about me. I don't give a fuck because I know the truth. I went and I cleared the air about what happened in our relationship. I posted the receipts. I name dropped people that told me that they slept with you together. So on that end, I did my due diligence. I slaughtered you with the receipts. But for you to sit and have a conversation with my current ex and mention my kids, the only way this will be resolved is if I see him. He has to lead the conversation with, you know what, Barry? I should have never mentioned your kids. And for mentioning your kids, I apologize. That's the only way I will forgive him. If I don't get an apology for my kids, and I'm sorry to say this, it's not going to end well for him. So y'all can screen record this. Y'all can send this to him. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. Because here's a fact. That happened 2 weeks ago today. And I'm still pissed. When it comes to my kids, I have zero tolerance. You don't mention my kids. You can say, oh, you have nice kids. Your kids are beautiful. But if you know that you and I have an issue, even you saying that my kids are beautiful, I'm gonna take that as a dig because you know we have an issue. So why the fuck are you mentioning my kids? What he said about me, I don't give a fuck about because guess what? I still signed another deal. I still have my business. See what I'm saying? My album is done. It's being padded and mixed and mastered. I start my photo shoots next month. So him talking about me did not stop my bag. What you did was piss me off further when you mention my kids. If I don't get an apology for my kids, needless to say, there just might be another mugshot because I don't mention people. I don't mention people's families, and I have a screen recording right now of certain stuff that he was doing on Twitter, and I can drop that in his mother's DM because she does follow me. You see what I'm saying? I have not done that because I'm giving you the option as a man to, for once in your life, own up to what the fuck you did. But because I
Exactly.
was, but because I was with him for a year and I've never seen him own up to a fucking thing, I don't see him apologizing. I see him playing victim. And the fact that you brought up my kids, you play victim, I'm going to make you a victim. You don't bring up my kids ever. Because there are plenty of times I know where you be at, Seth. I was just sitting outside of your house on Tuesday, contemplating if I should knock on your door. And just when I was getting out of the car to knock on your door, Imani Van Zap called my phone. So let's be clear. She saved you. My kids are off fucking limits. And if you know me, you fuck with my kids, I fuck with your life. I came in this interview with you, Stevie, to be very, very honest and transparent. So what I'm not gonna do is sit here and sugarcoat shit. He mentioned my motherfucking kids. And I'm pretty sure he's in here. He mentioned my kids. But you're telling people that you did it. One thing I know about my current ex KSB, he does not lie. He probably was mad and called you to get some clarity on some things because of how I had just cussed his ass out. So he probably was mad on that part. But the reason I know he's not lying because he didn't have to tell me he called you. He didn't have to tell me that. And as soon as I walked in the house and he told me how he started the conversation was he said I need to talk to you. I said okay, what happened? He said this has been bothering me for a couple of days. He said but I called Cameron. My initial reaction was please tell me this conversation is not going to make me mad. And he's like, well, it's going to make me mad. And I said, okay. So when he got to talking, I wasn't mad. I honestly wasn't mad because the same thing he was saying, Cameron told him, I had heard it all. I had heard it all before. I wasn't mad. I was really, really calm. And then he said, your kids came home. I said, hold on, wait a minute. I said, you said what? He said, your kids came up. I said, why the fuck are you sitting on the phone with this man, listening to him mention my kids? And he was like, well, he didn't say anything negative. I said, well, what did he say? He said, well, he said that you have 4 kids and you have 2 other kids that you don't know about. That's fucking negative. That's a negative comment. I have 4 kids. Sky, shut your ass up. But yeah, like he mentioned my kids. And as I've said this, I told Scott this, I told Devon this, I told everybody this. I don't care what he said about me. I don't care about that. I just want an apology for bringing up my kids. That's it. What you said about me is irrelevant, but you brought up my kids. For that, I deserve an apology. And I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it from you verbally, or I'm going to get it out your ass, but I'm going to get it.
I got
So,
you, Sky. Please delete all my messages because I don't want to be called as a witness at a trial. That's a little first 48, child. You confessing on live, bitch. You won't win your case. As a parent, that's all of our feelings as a whole. Wait, why are we sitting outside people's homes? I understand that I'm a mom. Yes, the kids are off limits. The kids are off limits. And when Barry sent me those messages, because he sent it to me, he sent it to Anita, Imani,
hmm
and I told him, I said, okay, sweetheart, just stay calm. Stay calm. Don't do nothing. I don't want you getting in trouble. Those are my exact words to him. I understand that I'm a mom. Scott told me to read another message. Some apologies don't need to be accepted. Just so we have an understanding that don't try me again. But I agree. If he
Scott
apologizes
is
for his
stupid.
wrongdoing,
Scott said,
Scott said
stop
this. I
saying
think
my
Barry is
name.
hurt and he reserves that right. No shade. Think about it. You never anticipate someone you once loved to slaughter you publicly. Yes, and
And
especially to
that
bring up the kids.
and,
The kids are off limits.
and that's my thing. That's my whole thing. And I'm not even gonna say who I called, but let's just say he's over chasing reality brand. So I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
say this. I'm gonna say this. He slaughtered me publicly. You're not gonna call me and try to apologize. You're not gonna text me and try to apologize. You're not gonna call somebody on freeway and try to apologize. You're either gonna apologize to me to my face, or you're gonna go on this national syndicated show and apologize there in your green screen. But you don't get the privilege to apologize to me in private. You ruined that. So because you mentioned me on season two after I said not to, and you put me in a situation with my now one of my closest friends on season three after I said not to, you have two options. Apologize to man, or you take your ass in your green screen and you apologize there. That's the only way I'm accepting an apology. Not through text, not through DM, not a three-way call, not a FaceTime call. We're not doing that.
What? But question, please. What does it really matter? What blah 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 says? Does it really matter?
Cool. It
Oh
does not
Lord, y'all
it
name dropping.
it
Lord
doesn't it
Jesus.
doesn't it doesn't matter what he said. I just said what he said about me I don't care about. But what he's going to apologize for is mentioning my fucking kids. My kids matter. So let's just move on from that. My kids matter. Whoever you are, cool is cool. I don't have an issue with you, but now you're pushing it. When it comes to my kids, they fucking matter. What he said about me does not matter because, as I said, he's not stopping my fame. But when you mention my kids, bitch, that matters. I'm not giving him too much nothing. He mentioned my kids. I have the power. And the way I'm going to relinquish it on his ass, if he doesn't apologize for my kids, then the world would know who has the power. Because then his mother is going to have to bring her ass from Chicago to visit him in the intensive care unit. You don't mention my fucking kids. And I can tell that you don't have any. You don't mention my motherfucking kids. Period. Ever in your fucking life. I don't give a fuck who you are. I beat bitches in my family for mentioning my kids. You don't mention them. I raise them. I take care of them. I fund them. And I was funding his motherfucking ass too. I bought his whole life within a year he and I was together. Now you pissing me off. Don't ask me one more question about Cameron. Moving the fuck on.
Yes. Yes. It's this cover for me. Sidebar. Leave my Tony Braxton alone, y'all. But yes, the kids are off limits, and my mom is the same way. When you come for one of her children, you come for all of us because we run together as a unit, as a family. I
Okay.
have four brothers, and I have two sisters. One of my sisters is in New York. One of my sisters passed away. So you say something about any one of us, it goes the whole way around. Sky, no, you can't. Well, don't cuss at Stevie,
I'm not cussing
friend.
at
No,
Stevie.
he wasn't. No, I was letting him, just like Danita's platform. Danita let y'all come on and spew y'all truth.
Uh,
On my platform, I let y'all have the floor to say whatever it is and get down to the bottom of it. I'm not disagreeing on this 100% because my mom is the same way, and
mhm.
she's been in a similar situation where
Right.
someone
Like you
said
don't.
something about my sister that passed. And when
Now
I
you
tell
don't
you
do
the
that.
gates, she's a Scorpio too. She's a Scorpio too, so y'all
Mm-mm,
can
mm-mm.
imagine when I tell you the floodgates of hell have opened and were
Right.
unleashed,
You don't do that.
they were unleashed.
You don't do
And
that.
that's for any parent.
You don't do no, I listen.
There's my girl, D.
I
Rashawn.
just
Hey, sis.
like I said, I don't have I'm doing my own thing. So when it comes to all of that bullshit and that mess, I don't have time for that. But as I've said several times, what was said about me, and Carl, if I wish Carl was in here, he can tell you. I had a conversation with Carl, and I told Carl, you know what? I don't want no issue with Cameron because I really don't want to hurt this man. What he said about me, I can give a fuck about. I could care less about what he said about me. I said, so in doing that, Carl, I said, I'm going to invite him to the show. And Carl, if anybody asks Carl that, he will tell you that's what I said. But then next week, you went and you brought up my kids. So now we're back at square one. Still don't care what you said about me. Hey, D, still don't care what you said about me. But the fact that you brought up my babies, now that's the real issue. What you said about me, I don't care. I'm over that. I don't care. But you brought up my kids. So that's the real issue. That's it.
That's why I love Scorpios. Oh, we love you too, Scott. Yeah, Scorpios. The thing about us is we're unapologetic. We're going to give it to you right, straightforward, nothing but the truth. And that's why I fell in love with Devon. I didn't really know Devon that much. I think a long due conversation between the two needs to happen. Wait a minute. Right, Victoria, but as I told him, you hurt the bigger picture. Is the kids, period. Yes, you scar the kids for life. You go out here and you insult the children, you say something about the children are scarred for life. So as a parent, I don't have kids, but I can understand where Barry and my mom are coming from when it's coming to protecting your children, when someone is saying something about your children or making inappropriate comments about your children. As a parent, the first instinct would be to jump in and do something about it. So you would
Let me
want
say
to
this.
burn the world down and back
Let
for
me say
your
this.
kids.
My daughter is 19 years old.
Hmm.
She's 19. I don't filter what I post on none of my social medias. None of that. And she sees it. So when I went at him, she saw it. She immediately called me. And it wasn't even about what was said. It was about concern for her dad. Because as I said, my daughter is 19. So she's seen some things. She knows how I give it up. So it wasn't even about what he said. It was about her father. But she gets it. She doesn't have kids. Hopefully that she never has. But she gets why I lashed out. You don't talk about my children. With large table between you two.
Bolted down.
Sky, let me tell you something. That might be a good idea. But honestly, let me say this, because I don't want people to just think I'm a mad bitch, even though I am pissed about my kids being brought up. I want
I
to have the
understand.
I want to have the conversation. I don't want to have the conversation about he and I because, like I said, there's water under the bridge. I don't care. I want to have the conversation as to why you felt the need to mention my kids. And even in that conversation, just say, Barry, you know what? I apologize. I should have never mentioned your kids. From the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry. I will leave you the fuck alone. But as long as you keep denying, but I know you said it, then it's here and it's gonna stay here until you apologize. And like I said, you went on this show and you talked about me. You talked about me publicly. You're going to apologize to me as a man, or you're going to go in your green screen and apologize. Those are the only way I'm accepting apologies. Not a DM, not a text, not a phone call. I feel like that's right. Am I wrong for feeling like that's right? Because that's what
No, you're not.
that's what you bashed me at. You bashed me publicly. You bashed me on the show. You did an interview and said that I never took care of you. I was cheating on you. That's what you did when you know that's not true. So because you disrespected me publicly and on the show, then I feel like it's right for you to apologize that way.
Not bring the lawyer. Oh my God.
Got to bring your lawyer too because you are going to be plea bargain, and this would be a crime scene because you are stable. No, I feel like if Sky is there and a couple other people are there sitting between us, like Sky, Davida, Carl, you, like people like
Yeah.
that. If it's people like that sitting between us, then I feel like I honestly feel like even my goddad, if my goddad was there, I feel like I can be contained. Like they be like, bitch, you bring it down, let him finish. But we not gonna play that. We not gonna play that. You said what you said. Just own it, man. Just fucking own it.
And to add on to what Barry just said about an apology is nothing without change action. You can't keep going around doing the same thing over and over again constantly, because that's called what? That's called insanity.
Sanity.
So you can't keep doing that. Take accountability for what you've done. If you said something about this man's children, you need to own up to it. More importantly, apologize for it. You don't go out here and say something about someone's character or someone's children and not expect them to get enraged or not expect them to get upset about it. Now, I know Barry is a good guy. I think he can definitely have a going conversation and get full closure. Right. I agree. And I just wish people would take accountability. If you said something or you've done something malicious to someone, own up to it. And someone in the comments made a statement about that, to that extent, that people do things and they don't want to be held accountable for it. I mean, use Donald Trump as the perfect example. He did all of these things, knew about all this virus a long time, already before March, already knew about this thing and how serious it was, and was caught on tape lying and downplaying it every single time and every single chance he got. So take accountability for it. You downplayed it. You lied. You told 20,000 plus lies. And we already know the truth. I think there needs to be acknowledgement, and someone needs to a stone, because to me changes the behavior versus saying so. Yes. Exactly, Scott.
Hey, Jamar.
And hi, Jamar. I've heard so much about you. I love your platform. I love your channel, and I hopefully will get to work with you one day. But the topic of the discussion in this interview is accountability. Mm-hmm. I've kind of gotten an insight. I've heard bits and pieces on my girl Danita's platform, but now just sitting and having a conversation with you, this can be done. It can be fixed, and I got a feeling. But
listen, I am praying that he can finally see the light and he'll hold himself accountable for what he has done. But again, I must say, as someone who's with him for a year, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. And I'm gonna say this again. If I don't get an apology about my kids, there would definitely be another mugshot. Sorry to say it. And if anyone's wondering,
and I'm not saying you have to do it tomorrow. Just take your time and do it at your own. Do it at your own pace. You know what I'm saying? But
I want my apology today. Like I needed to be, because
because the baby's off limits.
I've had conversations with certain people and they told him he needs to apologize. But in typical his behavior, he's downplayed it, which is cool.
In due time. It's no rush. And I understand, your anger and your hurt. I understand that, because the babies, like I said, and I keep saying this over and over again, they're off limits. You don't go out here and say anything about someone's children or assassinate someone's character. And I'm going to use someone from the G-Status franchise as an example, Ike. There was things that were said about Ike out here on the show that are not possibly true, that are not even true. You go out here, and I did an interview with Ike, and I said, that's character assassination. You cannot go out here and make up something about someone without having the facts. That's just, and I've used Donald Trump as an example because he's such a habitual liar. He's a psychopath. And you go out here and you done got all these cases out here talking about voter fraud, election fraud. It's not true. It hadn't been proven. So stop lying on people. Tell the truth. If you've done something, I can't take the words and the enabling. Yes, and that's another thing too, Roland. Thank you. That's a great point. I wish people would stop being around trying to enable this type of behavior, enable liars to keep lying and keep doing what they're doing. Again, it goes back to the cycle of what I was saying. Insanity. You keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. And at a
Hmm.
certain period of time, when you go home, guess what happens if you keep on all this lying? Your conscience is going to come back and haunt you. Your conscience is gonna come back. Listen, I'm not perfect. Everybody see, oh, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, all of these things. I see you guys' comments, but I'm not perfect, and I'm woman enough to admit I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. I've hurt people,
Hmm.
and more importantly, I've owned up to my mistakes. I've took accountability for what I said. If I hurt somebody, or if I said something malicious about somebody that wasn't true,
And you
then
know what?
guess what?
I'm glad you said that because that's how me and Sky actually became cool, and that's why we're at the place we're in now. Because I saw an episode, and when I saw the episode, he was saying that he didn't know that me and this particular person were engaged because the person didn't tell him. But the person told me that he told Sky. So in my mind, I'm thinking I have a problem. Like I have a real problem. Like when if I'm coming at you, I'm coming at you. I will tag you, and I tagged him. So we went back and forth for a minute in my DMs, and I was like, you know what, fuck this. And I sent him my number, and he called me. And when he called me, I remember we were on the phone for 45 minutes and some seconds. We talked for 45 minutes, and that's how he and I became cool. Because when we got on the phone and we started basically putting the puzzle together, I was like, you know what? I
And you want to know what that is? That is maturity. That's maturity, baby. That's what that is right there. That's maturity. How am I enabling him? You were just enabling him not too long ago until the change of events. Right. I, different conversations, but I was agreeing with what you guys were saying because I'm saying in general, people go out here and they enable this type of behavior. They egg it
Mhm.
on. If you're constantly lying about certain things, you're egging this behavior on, and it becomes a
This
pattern.
this what
Like
they
it
say.
becomes the same thing.
This is what
Go
they say.
ahead.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
they said this is just how they are. That's how they are. Okay, so when does it change? You can't keep saying that's just how they are because them being just how they are is the reason why people get hurt.
Right.
You're
And I don't do violence, but the white woman in me, the white woman in me. If you're going out here and you're making up lies about me, you can expect a big lawsuit on your doorstep. I don't play about business and I don't play about my reputation because even for me working in the fashion world, reputation follows. They
mhm,
can say, especially being a female, being a woman in this industry, it's difficult enough. One, I've got one strike against me being black, and two,
mhm,
I've got a strike against me for being a part of the LGBTQ community. So all cards are off the drawing board. They're going to make it more challenging and difficult. They're going to say, oh well, you're difficult to work with. Oh, she's a bitch. She's this. She's
mhm.
that, and reputation follows. So when one person says something, this little birdie says something, and it goes on and it goes on, your reputation can be. I'm sorry to say, it, excuse my French, fucked up. Your reputation can be fucked up just because of one person going out here and saying something to the next person and it's going around, and then you got to go out here and you got to do what I like to call a Nene leaks. You got to do damage control. Remember Nene
I
got in
call my
trouble
attorney.
about the Uber situation?
Yeah, I called my attorney. Dude, God honest truth. I called my attorney yesterday so that I could get so that I could file a cease and desist. Like, bitch, you're gonna stop talking about like this. You're gonna stop lying. Yeah, I called her yesterday so that I can get a cease and desist. And I'm gonna bring. I don't care at this point. I still deserve my apology. but I also want this
You
to
do.
be handled the legal way. In the event that I do have to, cut up and come out of character, I'm going to pray against the coming out of character part. But yeah,
I don't want you getting another mug shot.
that'll be number 13.
Oh my goodness. Let me see. Let me see what y'all are talking about in these comments. Roland and Sky are here talking. I just want everybody to work it out amicably, and I agree. Barry does deserve an apology. He needs an apology, because you can't go out here and say something about someone's kids or someone's character, and not expect them to get out of character.
Hmm.
See, that's the type of stuff right there that ruin people's reputation. He does music, for peeps sakes, and I do fashion. So even one bad review on me on my platform, and I strive to be nothing like the other bloggers out here. I can go on. I can name a few. Armand Wiggins is one. Kaya is one. I strive to be nothing like them. But me and Danita, what sets us aside on our platforms, the Hot Seat and Style by Stevie, is the way we market ourselves as black women.
Hmm.
So we strive to be nothing like these bloggers now. There have been comparisons, but the thing is, we're totally different. You have them babies. I meant it. No, don't do that. Yeah, I told him I don't want him getting a mugshot, Nakia. I told him that even when the incident happened, I think it was Friday, he sent me the messages. He tagged me,
Hmm.
Imani, and Danita in the messages, and I seen it. I said, oh boy, because I was reposting about our interview to let everyone know, and I seen the messages, what it was about, and I read it in detail, and he's not lying. He's not lying 100%. But when you go for somebody's kids, if parents are in here and they're watching this interview, you understand, because it tugs at your heartstrings. That's just a part of you. That's just something you don't do.
Hmm.
That's like ripping out someone's esophagus. Like, you won't be able to breathe, you won't be able to do none of that, because your kids are your heart. Your kids are close to your heart. You don't want nothing to happen to them. You don't want nobody to say anything bad about them, because they're still babies, especially. Don't do that.
And
It'll
I'm gonna say
damage them
this.
down the line
And I'm gonna say
somewhere.
this. What really had me tight? He held at the time my son was 2. He held my son. He played with my son. He threw a football with my son. And
Mm.
then you go and you say some negative shit.
I'll just say this, Barry. And I've kind of experienced a similar situation to this too, where I've had someone who I thought was my friend. I told them a secret, and they went out and they blabbed it to the whole entire world. Well, people who I wasn't really close with. But you got to be careful who you include into your circle. We definitely, and I know kids definitely are off limits, but be careful who you include into your circle. Be careful who you surround yourself with. And more importantly, be careful who you call your friend. And I'm going to give y'all an example on friends who you can call your friends. Like Sky, that's someone who's genuine that you can
Yeah.
call a friend. My girlfriend that was just in here, Dance Steph, that's someone that I can call the friend. Danita is someone who you can call a friend. When you
Hmm.
message her, when you call or text her, she's there 100%. She
Hmm.
might be working or doing what she's doing, but those are people that you can call friends. The ones that will pick up the phone and that will call you 2 and 3 in the morning and let you know, like, girl, something is bothering me, or girl, I think you should do this. These are the people that you should be calling your friends, not
Hmm.
the ones that are out here, like Barry just said as an example, that are holding your children, and then 2 minutes later they're trashing you on social media or on a reality platform. It's disrespectful, it's dehumanizing, it's degrading, and more importantly, it's disgusting.
Hmm. Hmm. But you know what? I thank everybody that you know checks on me, that call you, Sky, Devon. And I know that y'all are checking on me because
Hmm.
y'all are afraid for me in the sense of doing something crazy. But y'all are more afraid of what I'm gonna do to another person. So I get why y'all call and check up on me because I'm sorry. I'm sorry and I can't say that enough. I've said it to my guy many of times. I'm sorry, but I'm not taking the mentioning of my kids lightly. I'm not.
And you don't have to. I'm not saying you have to, but I just don't want you getting in trouble. I just met you when he told me that. I said, How am I gonna meet you Saturday? He said, I'm about to. I think you told me something about I'm about to go to jail. I'm gonna catch a case or something to that extent in the
Hmm.
message you sent me. And I said, no. I Saturday is our interview. I do not want you getting in trouble. Those are my exact words because I don't. I don't want people who I see potential in messing up their career. But I understand if there's kids involved, do what you got to do. I'm not stopping you because the kids are off limits, and I'm pretty sure the parents in here they've agreed, and I agree 100%. That's something you just don't do. You can say anything you want to about me, but the babies, my daughter and my son, they're off limits. So I agree with you 100% on that. So just be careful and don't do anything to get yourself in trouble. That's all I'm saying on my end.
I'm well, we're gonna see if Sky can mediate this sit down so I can get my apology.
And
So
you know I got your back. You know Danita's got your back. We all got your back 100%. Your fans, your followers, everybody. Like I don't want you. Well, I don't want you going to jail. I don't. I do not.
I will do everything in my power not to.
He is not worth catching a case. Make him feel it through your glow up, and put the law on. Oh, that's see modeling. Again, it goes back to the white woman in me. I'm not gonna hit you with my fist. Well, I'll pepper spray you and run. I'm not a fighter, but I will. I will hit you where it hurts, and it's your wallet. I will take something from you that is. I think that's the worst punch you can give somebody right there. Is their money.
Hmm.
Take all of their coin. Take them for everything that they got. Drain their bank account. That's what I
Well,
would do.
well,
See, I'm beautiful,
he ain't
but
got nothing.
don't let the beauty and the brains fool you.
He don't
See,
got nothing.
if you get nasty with me, I can give you something you're not bargaining for,
Hmm.
and it's your bank account. I can go for that literally. I can clean you out, and I say that because when it comes to character assassination, that's something that's big, especially for small black-owned businesses.
Hmm.
That's that's a no go. Kids and businesses is a no go. But I'm gonna hit you where it hurts. So I agree with that modeling. I would definitely do a defamation lawsuit because
I am.
character assassination is real.
I am. I definitely.
So from a legal standpoint, you have a case because you don't go out here and assassinate someone's character and say things about them that you know
Oh,
good
not true.
goddamn well is not true. Make it make sense. So
I really had an amazing time talking to you. This was fun.
oh, and I hope it helped. Like I said, I do not want you getting in trouble. I don't want you to
I'm
do
not
anything to jeopardize your career because you are, again, I keep saying the numbers, 3 times chart topper.
three
I
times.
don't want you to jeopardize that. You got all the success and potential ahead of you, and now you got your soul sessions. And I think you
Hmm.
said Tromel was going to be on there performing too,
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
I have Tremel, Trey Morris, Vigor Music, Angel Sin, and Mayday Universe.
That's a lineup right there in itself. I don't want you ruining that. I don't. And Terrence said, Banks, Danita calls you Banks. I call him Terrence. She says, no more bug shots, Barry. See, even
Who
the
said that?
audience agrees.
Who said that?
Banks.
I'm going to do my best. I'm not going to make any promises, but I'm going to do my best. However, like I said, I am going to go about it the legal way, but I still need that man-to-man conversation.
That's what I would do. I would go about it the legal way. I would hit you where it hurts because this particular person, I know who you're talking about, has
Hmm.
businesses. I would go for what hurts you. You hurt me. I'm going to be petty and I'm going to hurt you back times two. I'm going to take something from you. I'm going to go for your wallet and I'm going to drain you for everything you got. You're going to have to pay me in court. That's the worst punch you can go for anybody. I'm telling you. Two things I have is beauty and brains. Don't underestimate me.
Right.
So if you come for me, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go for something that's close to you. I'm gonna go for your wallet. You gonna be bankrupt by the time Donald Trump talking about he pays $750 in taxes. I still don't understand how the hell he does it, but
He paid.
this man is broke. This man is broke, and now he's trying to hold on to presidency so you don't have to worry about all these legal lawsuits out here.
Hmm.
That's a different discussion for a different day. So yeah, you're gonna be Donald Trump when I'm through with you. You're gonna be broke. You ain't gonna have nothing. So play with
I
me
know
if you
that's
want
right.
to.
But yeah, I'm gonna handle it. I'm telling y'all. I just, and it's a shame, but I have to say this. I need somebody who can basically control my ass when I have this conversation with this man.
Like
Like,
mediate the situation. You
yes,
got
like,
three. You've got four people you just named. You got me. You got Sky. You got Danita, and
yeah,
we'll make that five. Imani as well too.
I
So,
need somebody sitting literally in the middle when I have this conversation because I know how I am. I'm good for jumping on the table.
and I've seen you in action. I've seen you in action. I know. I don't want you getting in trouble.
I'm not. I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be really, really good. I'm gonna handle it the correct way. So, yeah, I'm gonna handle it the correct way. I'm gonna give him a chance to be honest and to own his stuff, and we'll see what happens from there.
And if he doesn't, you know what to do. I
Straight.
just told you, don't, no fist. Go for that bank account. That's what I would do. See, people think, oh well, Miss Stevie, she's so sweet, she's so beautiful. No, I have a whole nother different side to me that I try to keep locked away because of my platform and the
Hmm.
image that I'm presenting to you guys. The beauty, the aesthetic, the fashion, everything. I want to keep that positive image going. But I do not want to jeopardize putting my hands. There's the fun. Hey baby.
I cannot see the comments.
Barry, just have the convo. Some people know your triggers. How are you? It is such a pleasure to have you here. I was just
Devon is
talking about you a few minutes ago, and I was
Devon.
defending you because I said
Right.
Devon is a Scorpio, I'm a Scorpio, so that's how we clicked. So we're gonna set something up, Devon. We're gonna set something up
You
because
just
you
said
went on
in
my
the
girls'
comments.
platform, Danita, but you hadn't been on mine yet. So it's a whole different ball game. But
I'm
this is
I'm
supposed to be like an interview, but I feel like I'm having a conversation with a friend,
I'm
trying
gonna
to
handle it
advise
the
a friend
correct way.
not to.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead,
handle it the
baby. I'm
correct way.
sorry.
I'm gonna handle it the correct way. I am. Again, I'm gonna handle it the correct way, the best I can.
I'm telling you, not everything has to. You don't have to put your fit. I don't want you getting another.
And you know
You're a
what? I know
Scorpio too,
that.
Jamar.
That's one thing I can't. I know I don't have to put my hands on people, but and honestly, I haven't put my hands on anybody in a minute. But it's just like I don't know what it is with my kids. I don't get. Like that is something that I don't believe in giving passes for. I'm never getting anybody a pass when it came to them. I usually give passes when it comes to me, but when it comes to them, I've never given a pass. And I don't want this to be a situation where I handle it the legal way, and he's like, okay, fuck that, I'm still going to talk. Because
I,
then,
I don't want you getting a mugshot. I know. I know it bothers you, baby, but I don't want you getting another mugshot. I honestly don't because I see so much potential in you. I'm telling you,
I'm not going to let, I'm
it
not
not
going to
all the
let this
time has to
trash.
result in violence, but
It
there's got to
doesn't.
be a loophole through everything. So trust. Go for something that is close to them. Go for that wallet. Go for that bank account. I told y'all, I'm the same way. See, when people make up lies about me or people say anything bad about me, I'm like, okay, I'ma just smile and I'ma keep it classy and cute. But when your ass least sees it coming, you won't know what hit you. You will never know what hit you. I will go for your bank account. You will be broke by the time I'm through with you, darling. Like you won't have nothing. You won't have a pot to piss in. So you try me if you want to, goddamn it. And at the same time, people need to stop taking people's kindness for weakness. All these Scorpios, OMG, I can't date one. Y'all like to hump too much. I can't keep up. Not That's a whole different discussion.
Right.
But with Scorpios, we very passionate. We give it to you up front. We give it to you honestly and bluntly as possible, and we don't sugarcoat stuff. So we make good friends. We're very loyal, and our loyalty lasts forever, a lifetime.
Well, I'm
So
gonna say this.
that's why
This
I've
this
had so
this
many
Scorp
friends. Go ahead.
this Scorpio we're talking about, he's not like the other Scorpios I date. Just say that.
I know who you're talking about.
Because the
I'm talking
Scorpio
about like people like me,
Scorpio,
Devon and Jamar.
yes,
Go ahead. I'm
yeah, yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah, you guys. But this Scorpio, no, he's not like that at all. He's very disloyal. He's sneaky. He's conniving. He's the definition of a clout chaser. Okay, because everybody he's tried to befriend are doing much, much better than him, have more credits and more credentials than he does. So he befriends these people to get in with their connections. He's nobody's friend.
Mm. And I see the pattern. I know exactly who you're talking about, and I've seen the pattern, and I heard it way too many times.
Okay.
So there's
Right.
got to be some truth to it. There's got to be some truth to it.
I'm just like I'm I'm gonna focus on my show, but after I slayed this song, after me and Tremel and Bigger Music and Angel Scent and Trey Morris and Mayday News, after we slayed this soul session, that conversation can come after.
And if Sky's still here, I hope he can moderate the situation. I pray to God that he can.
I think he will.
Like with every zodiac sign, there is a good one and a bad and a shallow vibration and a high one. Yes. And I'm not going to say too much on that, but to the cast member, you know what you did was wrong. You know what you did was wrong. Own up to it. Apologize.
We're about that conversation happening. But you guys, it was fun talking to you, Miss Stevie. I'm starving,
Ooh.
so I'm gonna go and cook me some food.
Yes, this was a great conversation, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And thank y'all. I'm seeing y'all follow. The notifications of my phone is literally ringing off the hook. Thank y'all so much.
Thanks
Followed each and every one of
everyone.
y'all. And y'all thank our very special guest for this evening, Barry P. Y'all go and stream his music and check out Tramel's album, Six Page Letter. Check out Alex Jonte, the assistant. Check
Check out
out Carl
Carl,
K. Star. Check out
Trey
Vigorose's
Morris,
music. Trey Morris.
Angel Sin,
Everybody.
Mayday Music. These are all the people that are on my list from
Devon.
Soul Session. And everybody that's in here, if you're in Georgia, let me say this about the Soul Session. The Soul Session is a free event, but you still would have to download your tickets on Eventbrite. I will keep you guys updated. Flyers should be going up any day now. So you guys just be looking out for that.
You guys heard it here. Make sure you guys are going and following Barry P. Follow everybody that was in here. Sky, Devon. Follow my girl Danita, the hot seat. She has some things coming up. So I
Mm-hmm.
kind of got an inside scoop. I'm not gonna say too much, but yes, stay safe because COVID-19 cases are going up. We're now in 10 million, so
Mm-mm.
this is not a game. Please wear a mask, wash your hands, and remember the goddess loves you. I love you all, so y'all please take care and be safe, and you stay out of trouble. I don't want
All
you in
right.
jail.
I am.
I don't want a mugshot.
All right.
All right, you
Bye.
guys. Y'all have a good evening and a good night. I love y'all all, and thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
You are so welcome.